Sometimes it's easier to create a hit than to follow it up. Think of all the times your favourite movie's sequel failed to live up to expectations. It happens more often than not. While there are exceptions, the first entry is often the stronger. But this wasn't a problem for the Superman the Animated Series creative team when they produced their second Batman and Superman team-up episode, Nighttime. The first Batman and Superman team-up, the three-parter World's Finest, is very well regarded and often comes out on top of fan episode lists. But Nighttime is no slouch and instead makes the Man of Steel take on a different role than he's used to. Batman and Superman have been teaming up since the 1940s, so the writers needed a way to keep the idea from feeling stale. The way they achieved this was by not featuring Batman in this adventure. At least, not in the way you'd expect. When Bruce Wayne suddenly goes missing, and coincidentally so does Batman, cough cough, crime runs rampant in Gotham City. Batgirl and Nightwing follow a lead, hoping to rescue him, while Robin stays behind to hold the fort. With the best will in the world, Robin can only do so much. He's just a kid, after all. Enter Superman, and he quickly realises that Batman plays a vital role in keeping Gotham safe. He doesn't have to do much, it's more the idea that Batman is out there patrolling the streets that keeps casual criminals at bay. So Superman comes to Gotham to fill the void, by becoming Batman. Bruce Wayne has a few scenes in this episode, yes, but not as Batman. This is more of a team-up of Superman and Robin, while Superman cosplays as Batman. In the comics, they've swapped costumes plenty of times before. There have even been stories where Superman is Batman, like the Elseworlds' Speeding Bullets. There's even the composite Superman, a villain who's literally half Batman and half Superman, which was referenced years later in Justice League Unlimited. But here, it is strictly one-sided. This is a very fresh and entertaining idea because Superman clearly has a good time pretending to be Batman. He also gets to demonstrate one of his more unusual powers, super control of his vocal cords, which allows him to mimic anyone's voice, including Robin's. He only ever used that power in this episode, making it feel like a callback to the zany Silver Age comics, when Superman would suddenly gain whatever power the story needed, like that time he shot rainbows from his fingers. For as often as STAS is described as a more grounded Superman series, they sure made a lot of references to the Silver Age era. The difference between Batman and Superman's approaches to crime fighting is perfectly set up in the show's opening. The thrill-seeking thief Roxy Rocket headed to Metropolis to start a crime spree because Gotham was overwhelmed by criminals and was completely out of control. So let's compare Superman's approach to handling Roxy Rocket to Batman's. In Roxy's first appearance, The Ultimate Thrill, Batman confronts Roxy's madness straight on, forcing her to see one of her deadly stunts through to the end with a last-minute escape. Superman, meanwhile, doesn't entertain her nonsense. He stops her in seconds and lets her rocket fall into the sea. The result is the same, Roxy ends up in custody, but their approaches couldn't be more different. Roxy is the instigator of Superman's jaunt to Gotham. He's shocked to learn of the city's decline and decides to investigate. While Batman and Superman are friendly enough at this point in time, they're not exactly what you would call friends, but he still wants to help, which is a testament to his character. After consulting with Robin, Superman makes a bold decision. He decides to become Batman while they figure out what is going on. Wearing Batman's mask clearly frees Superman, and he has a lot of fun leaning into the role. My personal favourite is the scene where he kicks the Penguin's desk into a wall to persuade Mr. Cobblepot to be more cooperative. It's an intimidation tactic, and it works perfectly. Similarly, Super Batman, as I'm going to call him, uses his strength to stun Bane before knocking him out, and he toys with Mad Hatter by using his super speed. Superman is generally seen as a very moral, decent Boy Scout-like figure. People fear what he could do rather than fear him personally. Becoming Super Batman gives him the opportunity to play the bad cop. Of course, he has absolutely no intentions of hurting anyone, but they don't know that. And there's an interesting parallel here with Robin. Superman is a symbol of hope, while Robin is, at this point anyway, an optimistic kid. He thinks he can protect Gotham on his own, but he is way out of his depth. Seeing Superman interact with Batman's world really illustrates how transformative he was for that universe. Most of Batman's villains are wounded people who are lashing out at the world, and what powers they do have are modest in comparison to the titans that Superman faces. This is further illustrated when the mystery of Bruce Wayne's disappearance is solved. He has been taken over by Brainiac, who managed to infest Wayne Enterprises' computers during their brief dalliance with LexCorp. I quite like this idea of Brainiac being a computer virus of sorts. After its body and spaceship was destroyed, all that was left was some computer code in LexCorp's systems, but that was enough to revive it. Earlier on, Brainiac had kidnapped Lex Luthor to get him to build a new body, but after Superman intervened, Brainiac decided to try his luck somewhere else, far away from the Man of Steel. And he couldn't have picked a worse target even if he tried. On paper, Bruce Wayne is perfect. His company has the means to reconstitute Brainiac's body and build him a rudimentary rocket to escape Earth and start again. But Brainiac made one fatal miscalculation. It believed that Bruce Wayne was a normal person. Brainiac tried to cover its tracks with a video of Bruce Wayne announcing a vacation, plus bouncing satellite signals all over Earth, which is presumably the trail Nightwing and Batgirl followed, even if they believed Ra's al Ghul was to blame. Oh, to be a fly on the wall during that confrontation. But the video was the biggest red flag. Bruce Wayne was smiling and laughing as he described his plans, and Batman does not smile. Robin and Superman immediately knew that something was wrong. This time, Brainiac upgraded his earlier plan, using nanotech to seize control of Bruce's mind and his company's resources to escape Earth. This episode has huge implications on the DC animated universe, as Brainiac shared Kryptonian schematics for spacecraft with Wayne Enterprises. This meant Wayne Enterprises basically owned the tech. While Star Labs had been studying Kryptonian technology, they had struggled to replicate it. Brainiac's direct knowledge was passed to the Wayne Enterprise scientists and allowed them to skip straight to having a viable product. Because of this, Wayne Enterprises got a head start on all the other companies and would go on to create space stations like the Justice League's Watchtower. Humanity's technological abilities were kick-started by Brainiac, which is ironic given his reputation for hoarding knowledge, and as a consequence of this, Bruce Wayne became even wealthier, to the point that the cost of building the Justice League's Watchtower and the Javelins was just a line item on an invoice that nobody noticed. Just a few years earlier, a mechanized briefcase nearly sank his company, so that is quite the glow-up. Brainiac had planned to kill Bruce Wayne and presumably erase the data before he left Earth, but Super Batman arrived in the nick of time. The episode really demonstrates how unprepared Batman was for extraterrestrial threats like Brainiac. He's more than capable of crushing a cadre of criminals like Bane, the Riddler and the Mad Hatter, but microscopic mind-controlling nanites? It's a whole different league for him, and a key step towards the hero he'd become when the Justice League finally formed. Now, a question some people will doubtlessly ask is if Nighttime is the best Batman and Superman crossover. I don't think so, but ultimately that's a matter of taste. One edge it has over World's Finest is its brevity. There's not a wasted moment in this episode, and the main plot, the mystery of Bruce Wayne's disappearance, doesn't get bogged down by any side plots like a Bruce Wayne and Lois Lane romance. I really enjoyed the way that this episode expanded the DC animated universe without the writers flat out explaining it. They trusted the audience to connect the dots. As much as this is a story about Superman inhabiting Batman's world, it's also about Superman indirectly dragging Batman and Gotham City into the 21st century. This episode was a turning point in building Superman and Batman's friendship. Sure, they'd worked together in World's Finest, but there was still some frost between them, not helped by Bruce's ill-timed romance with Lois Lane, that's for sure. Here, Superman not only saved Bruce Wayne's life, but he defended Gotham too, which is the surest way to earn Batman's trust. Even if Batman wasn't quite ready to call him a super friend, Robin became a friend for life. Wearing the cape and cowl gave Superman a crash course in Gotham-style crime fighting, planning 3 steps ahead, using fear as a tool, and learning that sometimes the idea of Batman is just as powerful as the man himself. Batman, meanwhile, saw firsthand that someone else could save the day, even if they did it while wearing his clothes. Nighttime proves that sequels don't have to live in their predecessors' shadows. It stands shoulder to shoulder with World's Finest as a worthy follow-up that deepened their partnership and expanded the DCAU in the process. And you can't really ask for more than that. Okay, that's it for this week's essay. If you liked the video, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, tell all your friends about me. You know how YouTube works. If you really enjoyed the video and have the means, please consider making use of the thanks button to send a buck or two my way, because every little helps. I offer channel memberships for $1.99 a month. This will get you early access to my weekly video essay, priority responses to your comments, members-only videos, custom emojis, and an icon on your profile indicating that you're one of my people. And special thanks to my channel members. Everyone who was a member at the time of this video's creation is listed on the screen right now.
If you want to see your name amongst all these wonderful people, join the channel now.
Next time. When I return on Monday, it'll be time to talk about the winner of my recent The Batman villain poll. We're going to be talking about one of the few original villains from that show, the digitally enhanced villain emulator, Dave. And next Friday, I'm going to talk about a sad figure who wants nothing more than his father's love and respect. But he will never get it because his father is the ultimate evil in the universe. Yes, it's time to talk about the sad, savage brute, Calibac. Hope to see you then.